According to David Pimentel, professor of ecology and agricultural sciences at Cornell, in a study posted to Cornell's online science journal, Human Ecology, in 2007, studies show that roughly 50% of deaths worldwide are caused by air, water, and soil pollution. Society needs to be aware of the negative effects of pollution and take action not only to keep our planet safe, but to keep the humans safe as well. So today I'm going to be talking about the dangers of pollution, what causes pollution, and how furthering our education in pollution can decrease pollution. Now, when we think about pollution, we typically think about pollution being something that's bad for our environment. But it's important to know that pollution is something that's also bad for us. Pollution affects us in ways that we don't really think about. And when we talk about pollution, a lot of people usually think about air pollution. And that's because air pollution is typically the type of pollution that we think about having the most direct negative effects on us. We think about, hey, if we take in bad chemicals, yeah, that's going to be bad for our body. But it's important to understand that there's more than just one type of pollution. There's water, soil, and air pollution. And water and soil pollution typically are more in what we eat. That affects more what we eat. Now, what we eat affects us. And Dr. Rinkesh, founder of Conserve Energy Future, in his article, What is Plastic Pollution?, posted to conserveenergyfuture.com in 2020, he states that scientists have found microplastics in 114 different marine species. Around 1/3 of those species end up on our plate. Now, this has direct effects on us because if we're eating something that has plastic on it, it has really bad health effects on us. So now we start to get into the causes of these pollutions. For air pollution, the big ones are factories and industries and power plants releasing bad emissions into the sky. But another big one is cars. And cars are something that we have control over. We control how much we drive it, so we can control how much pollution from cars that we put into the sky. With water pollution, the big one is oil spills. Oil spills have really, really negative effects on marine life. If fish or other type of plant life within the water take on oil or are covered in oil, they're more likely to die. And that has really bad negative effects. Also, if we eat something that has oil in it, that's just plain old disgusting. Now, plastic and waste, that's something that also has a lot of, that's really abundant in the sea. And according to the World Counts, whose numbers and stats are updated daily in their article Pollution, they state roughly 2.2 billion tons of trash and waste is dumped into our oceans every year. That is a huge number. And that's a lot of trash and waste that is just being pushed out into our ocean. And so that's why when I heard that 114 different type of marine species had plastics in them, I'm not surprised anymore knowing that 2.2 billion tons are dumped into our oceans every year. It's no longer surprising. So now we get into soil pollution. And soil pollution is more on the agricultural side of our life. And that comes more in the form of pesticides and fertilizer. Now, fertilizer is typically good for soil and it's good for crops and stuff. But then when other animals are eating fertilizer, it's not good. And same thing with pesticides. When pesticides are consumed by animals, it can make the animals sick. And then if we eat those sick animals, it can make us really sick as well. So it's important that we understand how soil pollution works as well. So now we get into the cure. And pollution is something that a lot of people, again, think, if it's not affecting me directly, why should I worry about it? When in reality, it is something that is affecting you, you just don't really see it. And Dr. Joachim Kruger, professor of psychology at Brown University, in his article, Pollution in Psychology, posted to Psychology Today in 2017, says, people view pollution as a condition instead of a recognizable effective cause. So people see pollution in this world and they're like, all right, it's there, but if it's something that's not affecting me, why should I bother? And that's why educating people on pollution, educating people on how bad pollution really is and ways that we can fight it, I think that's more of what gets people on the side to start advocating for stopping pollution. Now, in our everyday lives, there are ways that we can always help to stop pollution. We can pick up trash, we can help to talk about pollution, and we can always try and recycle. But most pollution most of the pollution is coming from these big companies or these big industries, either dumping trash or dumping waste into water or releasing deadly toxins into the air. Now, that's something that we can't really control as individuals, but that's something that as a group we can start advocating for. We can start advocating for these negative pollutants, and we can start talking about why these are so bad for our environment more. The more we talk about it, the more there's going to be more people are going to understand how bad this really is, and understand, hey, we need to get this taken care of before it's too bad for all of us. And that's why it's so important to understand that pollution is not just something that affects the environment. It's something that has effects on us, and typically what affects the environment will affect us. And so that's really important to comprehend, and I still feel like a lot of people just don't fully get that. And the more we talk about pollution, the more we educate people on it, the more there's going to be change for it. That's why society needs to think about how dangerous pollution really is, so that we can start to advocate for it, and we can start to make social change. And as of right now, this earth is the only planet that can sustain healthy life, so we need to take care of it the best that we possibly can.